Hello, what's up? It's Felicity and you're watching How I Behind the Records episode number 30. This week we're gonna sample for the third time on the analog rhythm, but this time we're gonna use Serum to create some basses and some synths and also some drums, and then we're gonna sample that into the analog rhythm. And this time we're gonna export like the audio files already on the Mac, and then we can like just transfer it to the analog rhythm so everything is clean and I don't have to like record everything and cut it. I can prepare everything in Ableton, and so it's nice and clean. Let's look into the Ableton file, and here I just have like a couple of MIDI lanes where I have Serum loaded and where I created some basses. Here are just like the drums. Those are all the stock presets for like kick, snare and everything that are here in Serum 2. I'm just gonna quickly play it. For the drums I just used some Serum presets, that's why we're not gonna look much further into that. But here, when we look at the first bass, this is basically something I built from scratch or together with some inputs from ChatGPT and what to adjust, like listening in, and then also like the knowledge from some videos that I've watched. And this is like just a deep sub bass, like a little bit of a rolling bass. Here I have an LFO that like changes the filter and also like a little bit the resonance, and then also like a little bit distortion. But it's just like a basic sub bass. Then here we have like a bass with a little bit more movement. Here's also a second wavetable. I just played around a little bit like with the LFOs, and then adding some effects. This is all basic since I'm still learning most of those sound design stuff. Here we have a mid bass, and also here I'm playing a different note, a little bit a higher one, because this note also obviously also affects like how it sounds. And here I initially had two wavetables, and I thought like it's a little bit much like that, so I just like removed this one, and now it sounds like this. And this is just like a other bass, more a mid bass. Here we have some chords. You see it's just like a short like envelope. Also like the note that I'm playing is shorter, and there are also two notes that give more like a chord vibe. And basically I just have some different chords and to have some variation, so I can sample like different sounds. And if you look here again, it's just like a little bit playing around with the cutoff, not even an LFO, just like two envelopes. And then again, some effects, like again a low filter, like a little bit delay, some distortion, an equalizer to cut again out some unwanted frequencies, some flanger for movement, and also reverb to make it like a little bit more dubby. Then here we have like the jungle rees, and this is again like a deep re-space, like a sub bass. Like it's also a longer note again, a little bit different filter settings, and like again just some effects to give it a more spacious feeling. Then here we have some pads. Basically I use here a different waveform, wavetable, and then again cutoff, like this cutoff automation with the LFO always give it like that movement. And this is like more the focus now, and just like envelope, simple LFOs, and also some effects, again reverb, chorus and distortion, just like to give it some more distinguished sounds and also maybe more spacious sounds. Then this is basically the same. I just added like this LFO with like a pattern. I just played around a little bit. Okay, what LFO patterns are there? How can I play around with them? And this really gives it like a nice movement. And the rest is quite similar. Then here we have a texture pad. This is like the same chords as before, but we just like have some different wave tables that we use, again some unison to make it like, yeah, a little bit wider. And like this is like just a slowly evolving pad. Also like the filter just changes a little bit, and also the resonance gets a little bit added. Then again distortion, filter, and like reverb. Yeah, sometimes I was just playing around with the effects. Like, I don't know if everything is needed like this, but this is just like the process of me figuring out. And then here we just like have a noise. It's basically just pink noise with some effects. And yeah, again, also like reverb and delay. This can be like a background ambient thing, or just like, yeah, can be used as something else. Then here again we have like a dark FM bass. It's again like a lower, more re-bass style. And here I just have what is automated? Is it just like the, yeah, it's just the warp. Where is the warp? Here. It's just like how much this wavetable like modulates this um, here, and like this is really just a basic LFO on that. So not much going on. Then this is more like yeah, um, squeaky acid bass, and here we have like the fine tuning that's also like adjusted with the LFOs, the cutoff, and also like, yeah, here we have like a little bit longer attack. Like, yeah, the note is also played short, so it's like still ending within this attack here. Then we have like distortion, phaser, and a flanger to make some sounds. Then here we have a techno dub step, like, yeah, just to have like some chords that you can play in to have like some, yeah, little bit switch up. And here again it's like just like an envelope, and yeah, it's basically just like this volume envelope, and the rest is like effects and those wavetables just playing together. So this is like a really basic sound. And then here we have the drone pads. Yeah, again, I think at this point I was just like, I asked ChatGPT for like certain sounds and how to create them in Serum 2, and that's basically just how I recreated them. And yeah, was just playing around a little bit like with the normal LFO and cutoff things to get a little bit of feeling on how it affects the sounds, and maybe like along the way figuring out how to create the sounds I actually wanna make. And then again, this is like just the same pad as above, copy pasted, and I just changed one thing. I actually don't know it's exactly what it was. Oh, I think it's the sub. Yeah, here I have added the sub in 1 octave lower, and here it's without the sub, and yeah, it sounds like uh, just like brighter, or like, yeah, the notes are higher because this sub is missing obviously. And yeah, this was just me like, yeah, playing around and figuring out a little bit how the things affect each other. Now that we have those basic sounds, we can just like export them by pressing Command Shift and R. And here it's important that you don't have something soloed out, so every track is playing. Then you also have to change here render track. Usually it's on main to change it to like all individual tracks. So you like export every lane as a individual audio file. And then when you press export, you can basically select where you want to save it, and then from there we can export it to the analog rhythm. Alright, so I tried this for the first time, and it turns out you need the transfer application from Electron. So I just quickly downloaded it. Then you can just connect the analog rhythm with the USB device to your Mac or PC, should probably also work. Then you can just like drag and drop those files. So now let's see, samples. Then I have a folder from transfers, and now they're all in here. And then I think it's time that we create quickly a new kit, and then, yeah, jam with those sounds. Alright, so here I go to E1, this is an empty one, then I press load kits, then I select like a new one, and then I can just, yeah, start assigning samples. Like this is a process that we've covered like in the last couple of weeks. So since this is a new kit, I just mute like all the source sounds. So I just have the samples, and then I go to project samples, and I've collected all those samples. I can press load to projects, load them in, and then I have like all those sounds ready to cut up. Those are the basses, yes. This was the kick, and now the kick also sounds like it was supposed to sound. Let's start with this 4 on the floor. Then here I have a those are the snares. And next, this is the rim shot. This was the rim shot, and to be honest, I didn't like it that much, so I think I'm just gonna tune it a bit. Alright, so then also just quickly the heads and the percussions to add in. Alright, we back. I've created a kit. Here you hear the sounds of it, and yes, I think for the rest of the episode I'm just gonna jam a little bit with this kit, create some patterns just to show, okay, what is possible with like having, yeah, this different kind of sounds, and then yeah, I'll be back after creating some patterns. Alright, let's listen into the patterns or progression that we've created, and then we go to the TLDR. Alright, so yeah, we created some basic pattern, a little bit of a like development of a groove, yeah, just with some basic sounds from Serum. Here I could also like, yeah, use those basses and play like in chromatic mode and like play a little bit more around with it, but the focus of this episode was just showing, okay, there's also a different way of like, yeah, creating sounds and also transferring it onto the analog rhythm and then working with it. And then yeah, like the polishing of like those kits and patterns and the whole workflow that will follow like in the second half of this arc. And yeah, now it's more the focus on like preparing like every bass thing. Next week we're gonna add in the MPC to the mix. Like I already mentioned, like the analog rhythm is gonna be my bass drum machine to like anchor my sounds around, and that also gives like the bass structure for the whole set. And then like the MPC, the idea is to like play some instruments and add some different layers, and then also at a later point like, yeah, chop up some tracks to be able to like live remix them with the drum machine, and then also some instrumental layers. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna look at next week. Until then, stay healthy as always, have a nice week, enjoy the sun, and then yeah, we're gonna see each other next week. Bye.